Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Playground Sessions. I'm Phil, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play Sorry by Justin Bieber. Specifically, in this video, we'll be looking at the intermediate arrangement from Playground Sessions app. And we're only going to be covering one section today, verse 1. So when you get this one down and you want to learn the rest, make sure you head to playgroundsessions.com to finish it out. Now, before we break this section down and I show you how to play each hand by itself and all that, why don't you follow along one time with just your eyes and your ears and listen to the section we're going to be learning today. It goes a little something like this. 1, 2, here we go. Alright, way to go. So now, let's break it down, starting with the right hand only. We're going to slow this down quite a bit to learn it. But before we do, let's take a listen to just the right hand on its own to see what you're going to be learning for this hand. It goes like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about the key signature and the time signature. Key signature tells us that we have 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. And that tells us that we're in the key of E flat major. It could also mean C minor. Remember, every major key has a relative minor key, and they share a key signature. But for this song, we're in E flat major. Our time signature is 2-2. Another way to say that is cut time, or cut common time. It sounds the same as 4-4, but we're feeling it in a halftime feel. Now you can also see we've got a bunch of triplets up here. And a triplet, quickly, is a group of 3 notes crammed into the space where usually 2 notes would fit. Or 3 notes stretched into a space where 4 would usually fit. So we kind of have a superimposition of 3 over 2, or 3 over 4. Let's go ahead and get into it, starting with an A flat with your 3rd finger, up to a B flat with our 4th finger, and another one, and another one. Now to G with 2, back to A flat with 3, next measure B flat with 4. And we'll do a few of these in a row. Next group of triplets, down to A flat now, down to G, and thumb on F. Now here we have a dotted quarter. We'll play another F. Now up to G with our 2 finger. And then we're going to rest for a whole measure. So why don't we just pause here, because that first 4 measures we just played through is the same the next 4 measures down. And it's the same again the next 4 measures below that. So what I want to do is just pause there and play through that a little bit quicker. And then what we're going to do is skip to the end, where it's a little different, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so we're back in our position. We want to look at the first 4 measures, and we're going to speed it up a little bit now. We're going to set our metronomes to 70. That's the Playground Sessions slow tempo in the app. And I'm just going to play through the first 4 measures here like we just did, but to tempo. So without further ado, it goes like this. 1, 2, ready, go. That's it. Alright, so we'll pause there. Later, we're going to speed this up to the normal tempo, which is 100 BPM. But for now, I want to move on to our 3rd line, our 3rd phrase. Okay, as I said before, first phrase we just played is the exact same for the next 4 measures. The next 4 measures after that are the same too, but there's a slight difference in the ending of the 3rd phrase, as you can see if we highlight that last measure of that phrase. Alright, now why don't we actually start at the last measure of the 3rd phrase. We're actually moving our position down to thumb to E flat, and we're going to start now with a half rest. So we've moved our position down to E flat major position, thumb on E flat. We're going to play an 8th note right now. Next is pointer finger on F and third finger on G. That's going to tie over. Okay, now we're on the final line. We're going to rest. Now third finger on G again, and then we're going to go up, fourth finger on A flat. All right, now back to G. Tie it over. And then we've got a quarter rest. Again here, third finger on G. Then we're going to go fourth finger back up to A flat. And third finger back to G. Tie it over again. And now, down, pointer finger on F. Now, during this next quarter rest, we're going to jump our hand position up, put our thumb on C. We're going to put our middle finger on E flat. Here comes the C, and here's the E flat. Pinky on G. Another G. And now we're going to move back down. Fourth finger on F, third finger on E flat again, and thumb on C. And that's the whole rest of the part. So we've got 3 phrases in a row that are the same. And then we've got that fourth phrase, which we just went over. So now what I'd like to do is play that fourth phrase up to our slow tempo of 70 BPM. And then we're going to put this whole part together at 70 BPM. And then we're going to put this whole part together at our full tempo of 100 BPM. And of course then we'll break down the left hand. But for now, let's play this right hand fourth phrase again at 70 BPM. Alright, so we're going to start in our E flat major position. We're going to start with a half rest at this measure. And this is the final measure of our third phrase. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And rest. Now. Tie, rest. Tie, rest. Tie. Now jump. All right, great job. So now what I want to do is put this whole section together, all 16 measures at this speed. You ready? So we're starting with our third finger on A flat. And let's go for it. 1, 2, here we go. Rest, look ahead, same thing. Rest, same thing again. Now, fourth phrase. Now jump. Way to go. All right, let's get up in position. I've got my metronome set to 100. And we're going to go through this whole section at full speed. You ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Bravo and brava, ladies and gentlemen. That was the verse, the right hand at least. And what we're going to do now is talk about the verse with the left hand. Let's do that. Before we break it down at a slower tempo, let me play it for you once so you hear what the left hand part sounds like all by itself. 1, 2, here we go. All right, so you see here a couple of patterns, I hope. We've got whole note chords for the first 3 measures, and then our fourth measure has 2 half notes. Okay, if we take those 4 measures and we think of those as a phrase, then we can look at the next 4 measures and see that that pattern repeats in our second phrase. Whole note, whole note, whole note, and 2 half notes. If we look down to our second line and we see the first 4 measures of the second line, again, same exact thing. Whole note, whole note, whole note, 2 half notes. Okay, and our final fourth phrase, we switch up the rhythms a little bit. And we'll get to that in a second, don't worry. But the other thing I want you to notice that repeats, it's very easy. There's just 3 chords in this section. And they repeat themselves. So our first chord is A flat major. And what I want to do now is just play through each chord out of the context of the song. Our first chord is A flat major, A flat, C, and E flat. Our second chord is C minor over G. Sounds like a much different chord, but really we're just changing one note. We're moving our A flat on the bottom down to a G, but we're keeping our C and E flat on top the same. Our third chord is B flat over F. We've got F on the bottom, then B flat, then D. That's it. Now in our fourth measure, our 2 half notes, we're going to just play that same chord again, B flat over F, 2 times. Okay, so once again, that's A flat major. Now move the A flat down to a G, so we've got C minor over G. Now move the whole chord down, so we've got B flat over F. And then we'll play it 2 more times. All right? Our fourth phrase, we have the same progression as well, but the rhythms change. So for our A flat chord, we're going to play 2 half notes. For our C minor over G, we're going to play 2 half notes. And then when we get to our B flat over F, we're just going to play it once and hold it for 4 counts, and then tie it over and hold it even longer. Okay? So that's the fourth phrase. What I want to do now is put all 4 phrases together, and we're going to do it at a 70 BPM. Now the right hand we slowed down way slow, but that was because there were a lot of faster rhythms and hand position changes and all that. For the left hand part, we've got pretty basic rhythms, and we're staying in one position the whole time, basically, with a little bit of movement, but not much. So what I want to do is just try it at 70 BPM. If you want to walk through it more with me out of tempo, you can of course rewind this segment. But let's do this together now at 70 BPM when you're ready. All right, so let's get in position. 1, 2, 4 for our A flat chord. Ready? 1, 2, set, go. Right. A flat, now down to C minor over G, down to B flat over F. Play it 2 times, and we'll repeat that. Look down, same idea. This time, we change our rhythms. 2 half notes here, 2 half notes here, and then whole note, tied over. Great job! So not much to it, right? If you need to redo that with me a few more times, please do. You can never practice too much. But then when you're ready, let's do it at 100 BPM. And then we will put these hands together. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Great work, everyone. We're almost there. Hands together, and then you've got this section down. Now don't forget, after you put the hands together and you've got it down, go finish out this song in the app. We've got the rest of the parts, including the intro, and also the chorus, and the ending, all the stuff for this song. We've got it all there at Playground. So go check that out when you're done. But for now, let's put the hands together. And before we break it down, let me remind you how this sounds. I'm going to play through it one time, okay? It goes like this. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, well, let's put the hands together. We're going to do it at 70 BPM, and what I want to focus on is where the hands match up on the beat and where they do not. Okay, that's the main concern when we're putting our hands together. We already know the right hand part, we already know the left hand. Where do they match up, and where do they take turns? Okay, so for this song, I want you to feel a very strong beat 1. The left hand is mostly playing whole notes, which is a beat 1 chord, and it holds out for the whole measure. But even when it's playing half notes, we still play a strong beat 1, okay? And let's think about that as we put them together. And let's just go ahead and try it at 70 BPM. Ready? Left hand in an A flat position. Right hand, third finger on A flat. Let's do it. 1, 2, ready, go. Left hand half notes. Same thing. We're going to repeat again. But here's where it gets different. Right hand goes down. Left hand's half notes. Right hand jumps up. All right, so all that's left is to do this at full tempo. And don't forget, when you're done here with this, head over to playgroundsessions.com. You can tap the card above, or you can type it into your browser and download the app to play the rest of the parts to this song. We've also got different difficulty levels. We've also got a ton more songs. So check that out when you're done. But let's get into it now to wrap this lesson up on Sorry by Justin Bieber. Hands together for the verse, 100 BPM. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. Well guys, once again, I'm Phil, and if you love what you learned here today, remember, hit the subscribe button to your left. We've got song lessons where we show you how to play the main sections of songs from all sorts of different artists, like Coldplay, Beethoven, Miles Davis, John Legend, the Beatles, many more. And we're also putting out theory videos where we deconstruct popular music, we talk about chord progressions, rhythms, we'll be talking about practice tips, arranging and composing tricks, all sorts of stuff, everything related to the piano. You can find it here on our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you like what you saw today in the video, well, that was me using the Playground Sessions app. That's right, the features you saw on screen today can be at your fingertips with the full playground experience. Co-created by music legend Quincy Jones, the app has incredible interactive feedback and gaming features, full songs broken down by sections and in different difficulty levels, and a whole music theory bootcamp section, all taught by YouTube star David Sides. So click the app button on the left to learn more. Alright guys, I'm Phil and you're watching Playground Sessions. Hit that subscribe button so I can see you for the next video.